All right, everyone. Welcome to the Wednesday webinar live edition, of course, on YouTube. It's now not even called a webinar anymore, Ty. We're live on YouTube all the time now, guys. I hope you're having a great week. It's certainly getting interesting. Of course, in today's session, we'll be talking about everything to do with the indices right now, earnings week, what that means for, of course, the US stocks, whether to get all bullish on it or whether to be a little bit scared as well. And the crypto market, obviously getting smashed. And of course, the currency markets, the rise of potentially the dollar index again. We'll be talking about the participation levels that we could be seeing over the next week and why that excites Tyrone and I quite a lot. Tyrone, how you going, man? How you going this week?
I'm getting excited by all the moves. I am.
Yep.
I just realized that the other day when we were doing a bit of an audit of our videos, actually, how often we are actually live. Now, it's amazing to think that we can never make everybody happy, right? Like, you'd be amazed at how many emails we get on a daily basis saying, can you please do more live content? Now, let me tell you, Thomas and I do about, all up, I reckon we're about 9 hours live every single week. So we do a lot. So if you're missing it, you definitely get into the Discord. You'll be able to see all of the replays there because we are out there. We don't just do a Wednesday webinar. So looking forward to getting into tonight though, because when the action's happening, we are excited, of course. And Bitcoin's dropping, dollar index looks like it's going up. Action stations are plenty.
Exactly. Well, Tony Hall says only 9 hours. He's not counting the videos, man. He's not counting the live mentoring sessions and everything.
That's live.
It's hideous. I mean, the amount of hours is probably more like 25, 30, just in terms of those sessions.
Live,
it might be 40, actually, each. All right. Anyway, let's get into the action here. Let's talk about DXY to start off with. Now, I like the price action that's been happening here, Ty. It's been obviously risk warning. The disclaimers in the description down below. This is for educational purposes only. Please be aware of that. But overall, when we're taking a look at this DXY, there's some interesting stuff here. We've got some interesting price action around the 93.50. We've talked about the 94.50 to death, I feel, Ty, over the last couple of weeks. But some very nice kind of bullish price action occurring here on the dollar index. And this is leading to us potentially believing over the next week, we might see further strength here, which certainly looks like it's ramping at this stage, into maybe our 94.50 again. And we break through that, let's bring on the Cowboys, because at that point, there'll be some participation, I would feel. And this looks strong in itself. That's some good price action, isn't it?
I love it when price touches the 20 and the 50 that's about to cross. I don't care what time frame it is.
Just happened.
I love it. I love it when it's just happening like that. Yeah. And 4 hours, it's no messy time frame. It's a decent time frame. Love that. Love it.
So now we look for it to break through here, hit 94.15-ish, gets through there. I think 94.50 for me is the next zone. I mean, some people might argue with 94.40, sure, but let's go with 94.50. It's a better resistance. It's the top end of the level. And depending on how the price action comes into here, let's say we go like a nice series of higher lows, it really could be the one that breaks the weekly. And when that happens, strong times. So DXY, super exciting, good base formation here. Hopefully we continue to see the strength there. I've noticed on the old pound, Tie, if we go over to the daily, that one certainly had a bit of a liquidity grab for it over the last day. We went back up to the resistances, sold strongly off that, created a shooting star, and then bam, straight into the moving averages. We close underneath. What does that spell? Does that mean, again, DXY is doing the business?
Yeah, look out if that daily closes below those moving averages. Yeah, look out.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it'll be pretty phenomenal, guys. As well, I got 66 people out there. Please give us a like, guys. It does help us out. It's a competitive field of the YouTubes at the moment. There's too many like algorithms. So if you guys can smash it with the real thumbs up, that will be fantastic. It does help us out. So pound weakness. No, there's nasty algorithms. I'm telling you, Ty. There's like algorithms out there that are working very well. It's YouTube's it's an interesting game if anyone does it. Anyone out there have a YouTube channel that they're they can put it in the chat. Let's see what people have. I don't even know. I've never asked the community that. 116.63 here, Ty, for the euro. Previous support becomes resistance. A nice level if you were looking at it. I'm sure quite a few people in the room did get this one as a bit of a role reversal opportunity. Not bad. certainly sold off. Let's look at the smaller time frames. Let's go down to that 2 hour, basically the inverse of the DXY. And boy, oh boy, nice trading here. If you were in this, I think fantastic trade here. Fantastic kind of short opportunity here. Great. Yeah. This is a good candle. I like that candle a lot. Into the short. What do you think? New lows?
I reckon. Yeah, if we get past that, we want to see a break below this level here, and I think it's going to do what it promises. I mean, this is going to sell off down to probably the 115.20 if we get a close below here, because the dollar index starts to strengthen and gets to that 94. That's going to send this one right down to basically the volume level you've got there on the line. So around that 115, it's only a scalp, right? I mean, it's still I'm not so sure it's going to go hundreds of pips at the moment, but I think it's a good scalp. I reckon there's a good 60 or 70 pips there. So definitely one to aim for. I like it.
Yeah, another one.
And both levels were good. They were both good sell-off levels too. I do like it.
You know what's interesting is we go over to our currency pair here, the odd, and it's just like, I don't know what I want to do. I've broken through. Theoretically, that should be strong. I don't know. I got this weird feeling on the odd at the moment, Ty. I'm not loving it. I don't know why. I just don't love it here. It's weird. It's telling me weird things. And when you see the euro and the pound doing something, and the odds not really agreeing with that trend, and it's kind of floating around with a series of rejection candles, is that saying please stay away?
The Aussie dollar is behaving like our prime minister, erratic.
No, not a political stream.
Arrogant, and trying to defy logic. So, and that's why we don't like it. Yeah, and I agree. I don't like the level. I don't like the technicals. I don't like anything about it. It's confusing. It's giving us signals that I don't agree with from a technical standpoint and a fundamental standpoint, for that matter. So for me, it needs to sort itself out, and it's not going to get any of my money while it does that.
For anyone that's trading the Forex currencies at the moment, please let us know, people in the room, if you've seen a good technical setup. Give us the time frame and the point, and we'll look at it. Make sure it's good, guys, before you put it in there. But I think what we'll want to do now is it is big earnings week in the US, obviously a very important time. I just want to highlight here the importance of the companies coming out. We've just had AMD, Microsoft, Alphabet, that's Google, of course. Then we've got Visa, Twitter, Robinhood, Enphase. That one was exciting. And now we've got McDonald's, Coca-Cola, Spotify. These are big names. This is huge. I mean, Apple, Amazon, I call it super earnings week. And this gives us some clarity because, of course, there's a lot of hype, a lot of FOMO coming into these types of earnings weeks. A lot of retail traders believe, this is the best time to trade ever. But in reality, Ty, generally speaking, the trade into the earnings and then the trade after the earnings are actually the two better trades, aren't they?
They are. Yeah, they definitely are.
And less risky.
Yeah, I think that's probably the key, really. Like, they are less risky and easily, I guess, better easily planned.
Better easily planned is the main thing. Like, if you're trading into these types of events, then you may need to use an option, and it may cost you a lot because of implied volatility. So we've got so many here. We've got a stock called Disney, which people want us to look at. But I also just wanted to finish up here on the currency and then get into commodities first. US yen, Thai, hit the big resistance. This is exactly what we talked about last week. We knew this level was super key. It always was going to be a big problem. It's now reversing. And when we go into the 8 hour, check this out. So we go into the 8 hour. What are your thoughts about it cracking that 113? So let's just bring this up here for a second. What do you think happens if we go bam, 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 get underneath that 50? What do you think? Do you reckon that's going all the way back down to 112, Nation?
I reckon 112 is probably on the cards for it. Yeah, it's a very, very important zone for it here. It's make or break time. There's no question about that. And don't worry, the dollar strength may not come from the dollar index here. The dollar index could easily go up and this could go down. It's happened plenty of times. They're not that correlated at the moment.
No, this one went way stronger than the DXY was, wasn't it? It just went off and did its own thing. And now all of a sudden it could be very much getting underneath that 50, under that support, lightning bolt to the downside, 112. We've got Kim is saying we have to do the gold and the silver and the copper. So let's go through silver first. Silver was a surprise. This still makes me sad. How did I miss it? Why did I miss it? That was being lazy, guys, not setting my alerts. The reason I say why did I miss it is because this was a serious downtrend, guys. you break through, inverse head and shoulders, retest of the 20 moving average as it broke through. You guys know that is almost a patented move in our course, in what we discuss all the times. This is a phenomenal trade, guys. I love that trade so much. The inverse head and shoulders into the break, into the retest, the trend line, the 20 and the 50, the 20 acts as dynamic support and slams directly into the distance, which is 2480. Best. Fantastic. If you saw that, you got big brain, in my opinion. Ty, your thoughts?
It's awesome. It's awesome.
I like
it. Trade it. I didn't trade it,
no.
But it's awesome. It's awesome on so many levels.
It's really good. I'm telling you, that's fantastic. It's
that is TA 101. Absolute TA 101. That.
Yeah. Supposedly Kim says Shogun posted silver multiple times and I missed it. Yeah, I know. He yelled at me already. He goes, "Are you stupid?" I said, "No, I got a decent brain on me, but you should have tagged me." I said, "Why didn't you tag me?" Anyway, it doesn't matter. Look, we hit a resistance. You guys don't care about that. You don't care about the past. We want to know what's going on in the future. So when we're talking about silver, look, it's a clear resistance. It's going to be a big breakout zone should it happen into the December period, into that gold ramp idea. 2350, an interesting area now. Previous little bit of support resistance and a 200 8-hour plus a 50 exponential tie. What are your thoughts right there? We come down, see a little lightning bolt here. Will we get the potential of getting back to that 2480 area?
It's good chance. Good chance. I wouldn't want to see it break, and I think I want to see this continue now. Like, I think we want to see the strength to make sure it maintains it. But yeah, really, really good chance. I mean, it's exactly what we're looking for. Pull back to that level, smaller lightning bolt, off we go. Very clear target.
Yep, very clear target. We get through that level then, and boy, oh boy, that's when I think the silver ramp happens. So we'll be watching that silver ramp. We won't miss this level in the future. Don't worry, Kim and others. We'll check that one out. Gold's come back to the 1788 area, 1782.81 area, and it's trying to bounce off this zone. Ty and I have talked about gold many times. We've been kind of focusing on this idea of back end of November is when we want to start getting excited about it, but we can't ignore certain levels. So do we have alerts set at 1830? Yes, I do. Why? Because it's a damn big resistance. Look at this thing. Bam, 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 bam. That's a key zone. You break through. Oh, I'm excited. And that'll be a cool level. But what it's doing right now excites me less because it keeps breaking high here, Ty. Look at this. It goes high, then it goes down, then it breaks a new high, then it just goes straight back down. I mean, it's kind of like you could say, oh, it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But I don't know if there's clarity here. Is there clarity for you?
No. Okay. No, I think it's just hovering in the zone. And it's just waiting. It's just waiting.
Yeah.
It really is confused.
I think it could be. Maybe this little trend here might keep holding up. We'll find out. Confusing to me. A few people asking about copper as well. I don't really look at copper anymore. So, 1 second. Let me just make sure I get copper up. All right. So copper traditionally is a really good kind of test of economy strengths and economies coming out of recessions and going into potential recessions. Weakness in copper is well associated with that type of thing. They call it Dr. Copper. I like to use it out of recessions or out of the kind of bleak period because it usually shows a very huge level of purchasing, which usually means builds and infrastructure projects and things that copper are used in. That giant demand tends to work with the SP 500. Now, we've had a massive ramp in copper in recent weeks, and people are saying, oh, well, we're seeing weakness here. Does this mean the market's going to crash or something? I don't think you can use it as correlated anymore. About 12 to 18 months after a fall, I tend to just scrap it. I mean, your thoughts, Ty? Dr. Copper's cool during Dr. Copper's time.
Yeah, that's right. No, 100%. I think at the moment, it's probably just really... I don't think it's giving us anything at the moment, actually. I mean, it's very, very difficult. It's a recession breaker. You know, we're not in a recession.
Not anymore.
It's hard. Wow. Yeah, it's hard to read it.
We're in a cash fueled federal plan.
Yeah,
that's what we are. But look, it's acting relatively technically. That's a good short. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. That's not a bad short. The resistance is here. Double shooting star. into some shorting, but we're basically at support here. If you're looking at copper, this is the level where you hope it starts to find a little bit of resilience. Yeah.
Yep. Stephen, if you're out there, that's a long condor. You'll see that soon enough.
Poor Stephen. I'm not saying anymore. Poor Stephen. Stephen, you've got to prove us that you're making the sweet coin on those ones, eh?
I can't wait till we see him at the conference.
You better watch out. He might chase us. Maybe not you. He might chase me. Disney over here. We had a question about it. What do you think? He says it's sluggish. It is hideously sluggish. We've got earnings in 14 days. We have a great level of support, no doubt. It's tough. I mean, if you love Disney, is it a support line? Yes. Is there a resistance at 186 that's super important? Absolutely. Is it hard to bet against Disney? For sure. There's no real strength that I see that's like outstanding here in the charts. You do have a few levels of resistance. So you've got here that 180-ish zone, just underneath 180, maybe 179.40. That's a resistance. The support is here. If the support is closed below, that is a very bad sign for Disney. And if you like trading this bottom zone, you're probably looking at the 1 hour and saying, well, can I get a little bit of a lightning bolt? Here's a little start here. Maybe we get a little bit of that, a little bit of action into the earnings. Markets do tend to go optimistic into earnings. So we've got little trough, peak, higher trough, marginal style positions. But yes, a base is forming here. Ty, your thoughts?
Yep. No, I agree 100% with that. You get the high, break up the high, you got a very clear target up top. And I'd probably expect it to happen before earnings, really.
Yeah, that would be a before earnings. It might be scary going into Disney earnings. I'm sure it's a mixture of, hey, we lost a bunch of money here, but don't worry, we got more Disney subscribers. Or did they? Maybe the Squid Game on Netflix is killing their subscriber base. I don't know. So that's a big one. Thank you very much, Midas. I appreciate that. And Stephen says, thanks, Ty. I will await the conference. Yeah, that'll be fun next year.
It's coming on like a storm. You know, the irony is this weekend is actually the weekend of the conference if it was going to run. But don't worry, it's coming on like an absolute storm. And you know what? The best thing is we are open. We are open for business. So we will be there with bells on. So cannot wait.
Oh, we will be next year, yeah. But if we'd run that thing, it wouldn't have worked. We wouldn't have been able to get out, would we? Or would we?
100%. No, we wouldn't have been able to make it. No, we had to postpone it. We weren't even allowed. We're still technically not even allowed in Queensland, but we will be after Christmas. So we're going to be open to the world. I mean, people can come from around the world now.
You're not allowed to
Monica,
leave.
Monica, you can come down in person. You can come down in person and meet us. Yeah,
Monica will go straight. I think she'll beeline straight to you, Ty, and be like, "I'll shake Tyron's hand first." All right.
She pointed out a very important factor. We are nearly at 1,000 subscribers on this channel. Why is it taking so long? Why are we taking so long to get to 1,000?
Well, Jesus.
Well,
it's a mixture of the fact that we don't necessarily. This is meant to be for the private community as much as possible. So it's a mixture. We don't advertise it, but if you can help us get us over 1,000, that would be helpful for replays as well, because they give you more bandwidth on YouTube when that happens. So people are asking about oil. Now, I feel like it's kind of hit our zone, Ty. So we talked about this area. I put 86, I think, on the dot last time. And where did it hit? Let me have a look here. I think it got just underneath 85.40. Now, that's enough for me. I love that move. It was fantastic. It was ordained by the oil gods. That was the way that we saw it. But but now we need to wait for more action, Ty. We need to wait for this thing to come back and start to flurry around a little bit. It's kind of similar to the scenario over here. We hit 77. I ranted about it. You ranted about it. 77 was a huge zone for oil. It then went into a weird bit of consolidation, fell off, showed great signs of strength, and then came through. Everyone's talking about $100 oil again, which annoys me. And when that happens, I usually see like it comes down a bit. Your thoughts? Any key levels?
No, I agree. It's got a lot. It's got a. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to trade really now, isn't it? Like it's.
I mean, it's just this, but that you know what? That's starting to show weakness.
Oh yeah,
it's done what we wanted.
It's already done what we wanted. So it's kind of like it's one of those ones where if you were long, you probably should already be out, right? Like I mean, you know, we're not going to give financial advice, right? But at the same time, if you've been long for a little while, God, if you weren't getting out here, where are you going to get out? I mean, you want to be at least taking some profit, surely.
Yeah, it's one of those scaling principles. You would think. You would think that
you want to be taking some profits here, or at least starting to hedge your positions. To make sure that if it does reverse a bit, you're not going to give it all back.
All right, let's get into the crypto quickly because I know a few people here are probably champing about it. Yes, this is relatively significant, and yes, it kind of looks like a head and shoulders to the negative side here for Bitcoin. I took the pricing out on this tie. It's pretty interesting. So if we take the distance here and we extrapolate that, let's say down here, it brings in about a 52. But what I'm thinking is this market looks like it wants to get around this level. So somewhere between this 52, it's going to be a big wide range, but here and here, if we get if this closes underneath, could be a very interesting range. And it's got to do with previous pullbacks. So let's just quickly go out to the daily. So we know let's ask the big brain chat. Chat, people in the community, how much does Bitcoin like to go down during a standard crypto pullback? What we call a standard crypto pullback, which in the stock market would be called very bad.
Flash crash.
It'd be very flash crash. It'd be worse than that. It'd be like one of those ones that they'd write about in the storybooks, Ty. It would be like absolutely terrible. Does anyone know what percentage we usually expect to pull back in crypto? Here we go. So you guys got it. Look at this.
They're all over it. They are all over it.
Yep. 20 to 30, pretty much. Yeah. So in that range, you look back, you go through the history, you go through percentages. There's the 30, the big 30. Most recent one, we take the distance here. That's a big 25-ish. So around 20 to 30% is your expectation. If we took 20% from the top up here, where does that bring us to? It brings us around that 54, 55. Then if we get the distance from the pullback here of the previous pullback, which remember, there's a reason we'll do this in a second, that gets us right into that zone. Now, it gets a little bit better because if you take the distance of the pull up, so you take that full distance from the bottom to the top, this is what we call basically leg work in terms of the markets. It's got that resistance here and a slight blow off. And that's pretty significant. I think that this is working in tandem to a degree. And especially if it comes down here and we start to see consolidation base, we start to see the lightning bolt. Woo! Damn, I'll be interested. Your thoughts, Ty? First analysis I've done with you on this one. What do you think?
Yeah, I 100% agree. And as you guys probably guessed, Thomas and I look at the same things, and we have very, very similar opinions. We don't always 100% agree, but for the most part, we're pretty damn close. We do fight all the time. For the most part, when technical analysis makes sense, like it does here, absolutely. Like they're clearly. I really like Bitcoin's technicals now. Like I was a little bit worried about it when it first was new, but now I think it's really holding up. I think it makes a lot of sense.
This and the Ethereum are both pretty damn good. And even some of the other bigger coins, they're starting to, I guess, mature into better, technical levels. I mean, you look at KSM here, Ty, you see that little bit of a breakout. I mean, I'm not happy, not loving the price it got to. It only went to 400, but still a little breakout, little pullback back to that resistance high. Yeah. And all of a sudden you're getting that nice little ramp. There's a small day trade there or small opportunity for some traders. And this is what's happening. I think the big two coins, though, are clearly the ones with the derivatives on them. They're the ones that clearly have got the best technicals at this stage. All right, let's get into the dollar, not dollar. Just when we're talking
David says, do we consider a conference in Europe? Mate, David, we are all over it. Don't worry about that. Our very first international conference, I'm not going to lie, is going to be in Vegas. We have planned it. We've promised our American friends that Vegas is going to be the conference after Cairns. There's no question about that. Europe will be the next one. Thomas really needs to get back to his heritage. I'm not sure what country yet, but it's going to be in Europe somewhere. And after Europe, it's going to be Canada.
Aren't you European?
Technically.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're the one with the olive skin. If anyone, people probably guess where I'm technically from in Europe.
We are definitely going to Canada. And that's going to happen after we have an amazing base in Canada. We've got an amazing base of people. So we are, look, we love it. We cannot wait to get it on the road because I think it'll be hugely successful. It'll be a great way for people to meet, the people they chat to probably on a daily basis. So Europe is definitely on our hit list, mate. But Vegas is first. Vegas is going to be the first one. Then we go to Europe. Then we go to Canada.
First, I heard about the other one, but I love the idea of going to Canada, and I love all of these countries, actually. All right. Traveling in general gets me excited right now because it's been too long. Let's quickly go through this US 500. So, Ty, we get our kind of first bearish day, I guess. Overall, we have the long leg doji decision made up. It ramps a little bit here. This is, of course, the US 500 futures. And then we get the rejection style candle coming off the 4600 psychological. Now, this timed very well when we put it side by side with the Nasdaq. So let's just quickly side by side these two. Let's bring the old Nasdaq up. Let's go to the daily. And you'll notice, bam, look at that. Straight off the previous week high. It's been a very aggressive time for the markets. They turned on us pretty quickly. I mean, we had to go bullish here. And we had to go bullish stat because obviously the lightning bolt, we don't ignore the teachings. You'll notice in our videos, I was like, sorry guys, it's long now. We're long. We cannot no longer have really shorts open because the downtrend was broken. The lightning bolt happened. It was, a horror show that the earnings was too quickly coming. So yeah, it was a bit of a horror show there from the perspective of the bears. They didn't get the full depth that we'd like. But the market now, could it pull back, Ty, theoretically, come down to the 5,200 and then ramp up into the end of the year? Is this what we're starting to see? I think it's a coin flip right now, whether this even goes weakness, but that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, I agree. I think that, it's been a big move. Like, that's a very, very big move, given...
Good move.
Yeah, it's a big move. Like straight into that resistance. I think I would like to see it probably come back to the moving averages now. I don't know if I want to see it sell off any further, but those moving averages would be a nice base to land on. And then it will approach it. Yeah, timing will approach it, probably give it one big hit. And then I think it will break through. And once it does that, then we'll go back to the standard, wait for it to retrace above the top, and then come back and test it from the top, and off we go. So, yeah, realistically, a pullback to the moving averages on the dailies, on both of them for that matter, would be quite nice. I think that would make it a really good trading environment. But both candles are identical. You can see that. I mean, you can see the weaknesses there. I know that can be blown out in one night, but if we get a continued weakness and a little bit more weakness,
another day of weakness, I'm sniffing it out, Ty. We're going to sniff out that area. And there's a reason we say the daily 20 here makes sense, because in most of these, like when it gets a little bit too aggressive, it does come back. That was a super aggressive pull actually there.
Yeah.
But the earnings are not, they're good. Like Microsoft obviously beat, Google did all right, kind of hit estimates. Some are missing, some are kind of hitting around. It's a mixture. But the 20 is very well loved by the market. You can see it here in the past, just in the general smaller little pullbacks. What a perfect time for them to grab it down here, as in Wall Street and other guys, and then pull it up for the end of the year. That would be, that's like the second chance draw to pick up a bit of liquidity.
I say scalp it down to 4,500. I think it's take every opportunity to scalp it. You see changes of trend on the smaller time frames, bang down to 4,500, and then that should catch up to the 20 moving average. So Michael, Abella's Maltese, mate. So pretty close to Italy, about an hour by boat. But yeah, Malta is a little island just below Italy.
What's the island well known for, Ty?
Malta saved the world, actually.
Did it?
It played a big part in ending World War II.
Oh, okay.
True.
Saved the world. There we go. What else did it?
Well, saved the world from it ended a war effectively.
Okay, ended a war. That's what. We got a question here on PayPal. I thought there might be some like massive party on there or something that goes on, like those Greek islands.
There is, but it's not yet.
Not that part. Yeah, we're talking about wars. PayPal. This is a bit of a random stock at the moment. We have a question about it. Look, this is the thing with the PayPal. It has been untechnical multiple times. It also, obviously is being sold off by Kathy Wood, and she's favoring Square. Visa's getting in, MasterCard's getting in. Well, it's a hard one, Ty, because they are leaders, but this fintech space is so aggressive in terms of everyone's constantly making big decisions. I mean, Visa and MasterCard are obviously now starting to wake up to the crypto world. PayPal's been a little bit leader in some ways, but price action wise looks nasty. They tried to buy.
I think my personal opinion is that their moat has dried up. No longer are they, the leaders in that technology. I think in actual fact, I worry for a lot of the big ones. I think there's going to be a lot of buying happening probably in the next few years, where some of these big companies have to start buying up some of the smaller ones, or they're going to get overrun.
You mean there's just so many out there? Yeah, it's a
the
very competitive space. Obviously, the future. Obviously, the future, but
it's the
so
future.
competitive.
Yeah, but there's just too many of them now. And it's almost escaped it. It's not like where Google just went and bought everybody who was looking like it was going to be a competitor. It's almost too late for that now. So they either have to come through with more innovation, which I'm not sure where it's going to come from, or they're going to have to start buying. Like
Afterpay. They did try to buy. Well, they do have their own. They've got Venmo, I think it is. But the thing with the Afterpay, PayPal, is that they don't. They went to buy something the other day, which kind of worries you in some ways, and then said, "Oh no, we don't want that anymore." After the market reacted negatively, and then the market's like, "Well, okay, that's even worse, because why are you making these snap decisions on pins?" So I could see it coming back to the base here, but this is a very interesting level. I mean, geez, if you're going to like PayPal, you would like it here, wouldn't you? Yeah.
I'll give you one piece of advice on going too deep into what could be their market share or this, that, and the other. If you do like trading PayPal, don't let the fundamentals or even that sort of bias, I guess, impact how you want to trade it. If you think it's a good trade because it's at a support level and it's playing the technical game, don't let the other stuff influence you, because that could be months and years away from potentially really damaging it. If there's support and you like it, buy it. That's what I say. Like, you want to trade the technicals no matter what. We didn't want to trade the SP500 long from where it went long. I wanted a bit more of a deeper pullback, but once it did it, right? So there's no point fighting it. So if you still like it from a technical standpoint, get involved, because it is a trade at the end of the day. Maybe not invest in it, but if you're going to trade it, don't be afraid of it.
A question about coin here, Ty. This really, to me, is just basically a total market cap special in terms of if you're trading it, you're really just hoping Bitcoin continues up. If you're bullish Bitcoin, therefore bullish on the coin market, this is an alternative way to get access to that. You can see here today, 304.50 down 4.69%. Why is it down? Because the whole crypto market's down. So I wouldn't really necessarily take too much umbrage in the supports here or resistances. Like most of these, I trade them kind of like a concept of crypto, if that's what you want to do. 280, a key level of resistance that could become support. That's where the 20 is. If Bitcoin went down to that 54, 52 range, I would expect it to get into this area here. And that's really all I've got to say about it. It's an IPO. You guys know I'm not a huge fan of getting into the IPOs in the first 12 to 18 months, unless you're in pre or you get it in that first kind of day and have a bit of a trade on it. It just doesn't interest me that way because of the overall, would you be better in the coin than you would be in this? That's a question you've got to ask yourself. David Taylor got CX. Look here. Let's have a quick look at CX. Earnings in a couple of days, literally 2 days here. Nothing notable, I would think, Ty. Really middle of nowhere land.
Middle of nowhere, yeah.
Here, lightning bolt.
I'd be looking for a lightning bolt up here, yeah. The only problem, you've got to be a little bit careful though, that even a break of that lightning bolt's got a pretty solid level of resistance in front of it pretty quick. So you just want to watch that. Yeah. I'd almost want that lightning bolt to be a bit deeper. So you want that lightning bolt to actually break past that resistance. And if it does that, then I think it's happy days. Then you got a decent move in front of you, yeah. But right at this point, even if it did break to a new high, it's got a bit of ugly in front of it. And we don't like ugly.
No, we don't. We do not like the ugliness that could be there. Yeah, we go back over that earnings, Ty. I just want to talk about some other stocks here. These are all ones coming in. Now, someone mentioned Boeing before. Let's have a look at Boeing. Boeing's been incredibly weak and it's had this horrible trend line on it coming into support. Ty's getting smoked by the day. The busyness of the day is getting us here, I think. But we've got the nice big support coming into earnings. Why is it here? You might ask yourself the question. Markets tend to go towards support or resistance ahead of course, earnings. Is it good news that it's here? not really. I mean, hopefully the actual earnings isn't as bad as what the market's predicting because it's back on support.
Yeah.
But if you're trading Boeing, this is a perfect case of I would stay the hell out of this thing until I see that earnings result. If it closes below, okay, cool. Let's wait till it gets to the next big key supports.
It's a triangle, no question
above,
about that.
bam.
Like it's you got the right triangle there. There's no question about that.
Yeah, because none of these closed out. They all gapped up and then went down. So they're all bearish. None of them are breaks.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. It's a big TA. I've been watching it. I love the TA. What do you do? And I don't want to take it short. I don't want to short Boeing. Shorting is hard, guys. It's hard, not easy. It's like the Zillow. We've been waiting for this thing for a million years, and this finally looks like it's looking better. What do you think about this one, Ty?
That's better. Yeah, that's showing the base.
Got through all the base. It's creating double bottoms here.
Yep.
You know, we're getting that resistance. One more push up.
Push up.
Let's go. We've got some good range. Much better. Much better.
Yeah, it's better.
Yep. I'll reiterate a few things that we talked about this week. So we've got the Johnson & Johnson. I want to show you this one, Ty. I was frothing a little bit too much when I was doing it on Monday's analysis.
They should have a product for that, surely.
What's that?
Johnson & Johnson have a product for that, wouldn't they?
For the frothing. Stop froth now. Stop your hype. Stop your FOMO and get in. But the thing here is the weekly. I loved it. Long leg doji, bullish hammer. Oh my goodness. Goes through, gets you the action on the pullback here early in the week. And it's going for it at this stage. Obviously wants to clean the 20, but to me, it was already in play. As soon as that closure happened, you get back, pull back, bam. Let's go. And I really liked it. I think it's cool. Look at the daily. Oh, so good.
That's hot.
Double bottom base. That's hot. That's hot. That's hot. Yeah, I like it. HCAT. Let's have a look at these other ones that we got people coming in with. Still looks like it's doing okay. This was an inverse head and shoulders smaller time frame. If we go down the 2 hours, it'll make it more clear. There's a resistance breakout. I'm not too sure what this really is, but I got sent it and it looked okay. We had X as well. Beautiful base. Beautiful base. Possible pullback here if the market does weaken into strength. That would be fantastic for this steel company. We have this one here. Did this end up coming down too fast? So we need much more turnaround. It's a good base, but I would not buy something that's a falling knife like that. So you got to remember, if it comes down too hard, wait for the lightning bolt. That's the most important thing you've got to do in trading. If it comes down and it looks like it's going to, if you think of it as a knife and it was kind of coming down like this and it hit you and you're like, oh, it's okay. It's all right. Didn't cut me. But if it goes down like this, oh my, whoa, get your hand out of the way. Let that thing get into the ground and then you'll come back for it later. So yeah, really good trading opportunities still in the markets. Plenty of different stocks, Ty. We've had some great opportunities in the recent weeks. We've got this Take Two that we saw breaking out that bottom trend line. These recovery plays, remember, you might think you're missing it, but there's always another opportunity. We've talked about our thoughts on the SPX here, the Nasdaq, that small weakness that we hope comes through to give people the opportunity. We're overall optimistic into the end of the year. I mean, you've just got to be, when you look at the stats and they all show strong October, strong Novembers. And even that Seasonax, check this out. I got this from one of the guys actually in the room today. I've used Seasonax before, but this is basically showing you the year in terms of how it's supposedly going to play out annually and seasonally. I mean, is that like a mirror image of the market at the moment?
Yeah.
Pretty close.
Pretty much. Yep.
Yeah.
It is.
All right.
Very nice.
FX Russ says, guys, just an observation as we see the US come in, feels like the algos kick in around now, normally reversing good setups. Always feels harder to trade a swing setup. Swing has been tough, I would say, recently. Tough.
Recently it has been. Yeah, it has. Yep.
We've been in a lot of sideways action on a lot of favorited stocks and maybe not the easy kind of less aggressive trades. I mean, a lot of the trades have been like this, not really this. But the good news for you is we're out of the first 12 to 18 months now. And what tends to happen then, Ty?
Yeah, we're going to get normality back.
Normality. That's right. And that's very important. Okay. All right. And then we've got Mama
Mama.
coming in here with, we've got Kim saying TMO. We'll do two more. So we've got TMO. Let's just quickly bring up that. Thermo Fisher. Yeah, that's right at the resistance. Decent little bit of price action here, looking for that breakout. This looks like it's uncharted territory. Yep. Been fairly technical. Went exactly the distance that we predicted last time. Clearly, I'd done some analysis on this chart and left it there. So if you're wondering if it works, seems like it did because it predicted the top. That was based on the channel. So that's good. It's at the resistance breaking out as we speak. And then we've got WY. Let's just quickly do that for Mama. Let's take a look. At resistance. Weekly. Not sure how I feel about that one. It is grinding higher, but not with incredible strength. Maybe wait for a breakout above here.
Yeah.
Still. Yeah.
It needs a little bit more work. But if it gets that break, though, different story.
XLV, yep, still looks really good. This is the healthcare sector. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Biker Dude will end up here. Thoughts on Net? Net is a good company, but very, very highly priced coming into earnings. And I think that's a big problem for it. You can't ramp this hard and probably meet the expectations of the market. And I've said this for a little while. It's so bullish. I mean, I love the company. We use it on our website, Cloudflare, beautiful thing. But yeah, too much ramp, very tough to meet the earnings. And earnings is in 8 days. So I could see that thing pulling back. I don't even know who's been hype FOMOing this thing. But that's so aggressive, Ty.
Yeah, most definitely. That's a big move.
All right. It is. It's a huge move. Yeah. It's almost 70. What is this percentage wise? Let's grab the percent. Yeah. So it's 72% in only a few weeks. So too much, too quickly. And I could see it coming back to at least the 20 moving average here. Earnings will be really a coin flip, but I could see it even coming back before earnings. There's too much FOMO in this one. Yeah. Anything you'd like to announce at the moment, Ty? I think that probably brings us to the end. Thank you very much for being here.
Yeah, announcements. Q&A actually is a big announcement this week. It's moving to Friday this week. We're going to do 9 p.m. Melbourne time on Friday this week. We've got planned outages in Ocean Grove, so I'm preempting that we're going to have internet trouble. So we're going to do it on Friday, and it's going to be open to the public. So it'll be a public open last Friday of the month, of course, and it'll be 9 p.m. Melbourne time, same time as this webinar, effectively. So there'll be a link in the Discord room for that, which will be really, really good. Everyone has just been amazing, actually. Like we've got, I know your the mentoring's nearly sold. It's done for the year, I think, isn't it, Thomas? I think it's already done now.
I think there's one slot left technically because somebody's trying to do it next year instead. So there is one slot if you're interested, and that's it. I need to actually update the site because it says two, but there's only one. So if anyone's interested, I think there's one left. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was full. Is he moving? Oh, mate.
Yeah. There's one that we've got to push. So anyway, all good. If you are interested and you're thinking of doing it this side of the year, then one more slot there is open. We're pretty much going to send through.
You're probably better off just email. You're probably better off emailing Tom actually rather than just booking it. Maybe just email Tyrone or Thomas at xevolution.com. Yeah, with that one. Because I think the site might have locked it. I thought the site was locked actually, but anyway, if it is, locked,
it's technically closed, but there's one left. Yeah, because of the thing. What it is what do we do in mentoring? Oh, we do a lot. Like we go through pretty much the entire cycle of the economy, how I see it, how Ty sees it, how we really break down kind of our bullish and bearish strategy for years. We break down swing. We break down scalping strategies around opens. We break down swing power play. It's basically what we do. And then we also have, of course, our option strategies in there as well. It's pretty in-depth. It's pretty damn intensive. It's not crazy intensive for the hours that you've got to put in, but there's a lot of information in there. And it's very, very helpful. And, of course, it goes through rotation. It goes through what we believe is the bread and butter of really making more informed decisions on the markets, using stats, using TA as your base. So, guys, thank you so much for joining us this week. We'll always we'll always be bringing these Wednesday webinars. It's probably Wednesday live sessions, probably about 3 years running straight now every Wednesday. I feel like I've probably done almost every one of them, I'd say, as well. And yeah, my goodness, it's been a bit of a journey, hasn't it, Ty? We're getting close to the end of the year. I'm feeling good about that. We take like 1 week.
It has been. We've had a really big year, and yeah, we've had a big year of growth. So, and yeah, a lot of that is attributable to everybody here. So we do really appreciate that. And yeah, no, definitely. Just to answer your question, Ian, yeah, it would be advisable that you did the masterclass before mentoring. I think it's sensible because everything would make a little bit more sense, even though it's not really based on the masterclass. I think having a good foundation of that would actually really make
you do want the TA to a degree. Yeah, ideally you have the TA to a degree, because I do assume you have some basic knowledge of TA. Otherwise, I can't get through it all, can I?
Yeah, that's right. Hey, Stacey, can you find us some locations for our conference in Canada? We need locations. I know where we're going to go in Vegas. I'm pretty sure about that. Yeah, we can put David in charge of Europe, and we'll put Stacey in charge of Canada. How about that?
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. See you next Wednesday. Ty, I'll see you on Friday, and I'll see you probably tomorrow morning or tomorrow evening in the US if you're joining us for the close. We have, just to remember, we have Ford, Teladoc, Twilio, and a whole bunch of others. Thanks so much, guys. Bye for now.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good night or day.
Bye.